Hello, everybody, and a really warm welcome to Loyalty Connect. I don't know about you, but I am going to have that song stuck in my head for the rest of the day. It's a very catchy one. I'm Faye, I'm Director of Marketing at Loyalty Line, and it's a huge privilege to be your MC today. This is actually the third time we've run our Loyalty Connect event, and it gets bigger and better every year. Plus, we really do have a great time doing it, so I'm over the moon to have so many people registered to join us and join in the fun. I know you can't wait for our keynote to start, but before we kick off, we just have a few housekeeping points that we need to cover. Firstly, all sessions are being recorded, so if you can't stay on the line for the duration of the event, don't worry, you can drop in and out as many times as you like via the same link, plus we will send out the replay via email as well. Secondly, unfortunately, we won't have time for questions in every session today, but we do still want to hear the questions that you have. We've already received some great queries within your registrations, and we've done our best to address these within the content. But you can still submit questions in the session chats at any point, and if there's no live Q&A at that time, then we'll come back to you after the event and we'll include your question in our follow-up content too. You can also book a time to talk to one of our team in more detail at loyaltyline.com at any point. There are loads of different brands joining us today, so please do interact, make the most of the chat, and let us know where you're dialing in from. Let us know whether or not you have a loyalty program and how it's going. We do really want to hear from you. So we have a super exciting lineup today. Lots of amazing speakers who we're incredibly grateful to have with us. We've got the people behind the Loyalty Line platform. We've got the people behind the best loyalty programs being run on that platform, as well as experts from other Shopify technologies and agencies too. So an awful lot to look forward to. Let's get stuck in. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to our first speaker of the day, our keynote speaker, Kurt Elster. Let's welcome Kurt to the stage. Hi, Kurt. How are you doing?
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you here. I know everyone is dying to hear your thoughts on loyalty, so if you're ready to get going, I will let you share your screen and I will leave you to it.
Sure. I will jump into it. Let me share a PDF presentation. I have it loaded. Here we go. Fantastic. Oh, and of course, it's on the last slide. Oh,
of course.
Oh, dear. Every time.
Fantastic.
We'll fix this. I swear I've done this before. There we go. Okay.
Over to you, Kurt.
All right. Got it this time. So when I was asked to do this presentation, I said, yes, that sounds like a great opportunity. And then I sat down to write it. And I said, the heck am I going to write about? And I struggled because I guess I hadn't thought that hard about loyalty programs. I've been, doing this over 10 years. I have set up, managed, run, maintained many loyalty programs just as part of our day-to-day life working with Shopify merchants. And when I got stuck on it, even knowing I had this experience, I realized the solution was dive deep on it, try and figure out, fall in love with loyalty all over again myself by researching it and figuring out, what am I missing here? How can I be doing better running these loyalty programs for our clients, for Shopify merchants? And so that became the presentation. I want to share with you what I learned about, leveling up these loyalty programs. And it just so happened, good timing, it came at a time where we were rethinking them for two of our largest clients. We already covered the housekeeping, but it's recorded, so don't be stressed. And if you've got questions, please ask those. And, ideally, we can get to them. I'm Kurt Elster. And I mentioned I got 10 plus years as a Shopify partner, Shopify expert. I've been doing it since 2011. Best known for hosting the Unofficial Shopify podcast. And here, I just want to share my insights, my experience, and what I learned with this. And so I think the big problem that we all face, that we've all seen, and it's been happening for years. This isn't a new thing. It's been creeping up on us as acquisition costs keep getting more expensive. There was a time when only small businesses ran Facebook ads, and then 6 years ago, BMW and Walmart, all these big brands realized, hey, we should get in on this too. And then iOS 14.5 happens, and with it comes increasing acquisition costs, right? And so over time, the cost to get a new customer has gone up, and it's not going to stop. I think it's going to keep getting more expensive. And so we have to hedge our bet, right? We need to figure out ways to mitigate that and to not lose customers. We got to reduce that attrition rate. And so that's kind of the promise of loyalty here, right? Because we've all seen this stat: acquiring a new customer is 7 times as expensive as keeping an old one. Something to that effect. This is a thing that like they teach as gospel in business school, that 7x stat. But the solution is customer loyalty as a strategic response. You don't want to be constantly chasing new customers and having to fill the top of the marketing funnel. If we can keep our customers happy, if we can keep them loyal, if we can develop a relationship with them, then our life is going to be easier because we don't have to pay to reacquire those people. And maybe, some word of mouth happens and they tell their friends and their family, and you get more customers out of it. But ultimately, I think the magic of loyalty is happier customers, and keeping those people around and increasing customer lifetime value and those things just becomes a side effect, a benefit. And so this consulting company, McKinsey, studied this. They call it the loyalty loop. Every time someone makes a purchase decision, right, they are going to decide separately what they want to buy. And so right now, if I want to go get a coffee, I'm in a mall. I'm in a Westfield mall. I have at least 3 choices. But of those 3 choices, only one has a loyalty program. Starbucks has the rewards program. So that the thought from McKinsey is that circumvents that decision process, or can help to, where I'm going to say, all right, I want my rewards points, because humans are loss averse, right? If I go buy that same coffee elsewhere, have I lost something by not getting those rewards points at Target? And so they call that the loyalty loop. I think it short circuits that decision process. And so I like that loyalty program. And we know this, that people are obsessed with getting their points from. I've seen the support tickets for one of our biggest clients, where if someone thinks they didn't get their points, oh my, they will be very upset. And so they're, to the right customer, they're important. Now, the other thing that I had totally overlooked is loyalty can be a gateway to first-party data. First-party data meaning like we're going to ask people about themselves. They will voluntarily tell us that information optionally. And with that, then that becomes, that's data we own. That is things we know about them. And I think we'll talk about this, but as privacy regulations, I think will continue to get stricter, and AI takes a further foothold in our lives, in tech especially, that first-party data helps become a moat around your business. The people who have that data, who know their customers really well, are in some way protected. And so that first-party data acts as a moat around the business. Regulatory hedge, because I think privacy regulations are going to tighten, and unparalleled insights into customer behavior and preferences. If you were just asking them, hey, just help us help you, take this quiz. When's your birthday? What's your dog's favorite color? Whatever we need to know to help them have a more relevant experience. Well, we can use a loyalty program to ask for that and then reward them. We could trade them, right? We could say, hey, we'll give you points, and those points can be exchanged for perks, for goods potentially. And that's exciting, right? I enjoy that value exchange happening, as opposed to just like we're taking and they're consuming. Oh, I hate the word consumers. It makes us sound like locusts. And so that's the thing I was missing in these loyalty programs, was gathering that data. Because if we could get that data, we could quiz people, we can ask them their preferences, we could store that info into customer profiles, then we can develop deeper customer connections. And so as I add these custom properties into customer profiles, we're building this more complete picture. We're getting these more detailed customer profiles, which lets us segment the audience so that they're not going to see content, marketing that's irrelevant to them. Marketing and advertising is only annoying when it's completely irrelevant to you. And so that is the big advantage of that data collection, is it lets you move to personalization or segmentation. And then ideally, that can foster an emotional connection, right? Where they're going to have it through iterative positive experiences with your brand where like this is positive, this is relevant, this feels like they're making a genuine effort to help me have a better experience, well, that makes me feel warm and fuzzy, right? Everybody wants to be the center of attention, wants to be cared for, and that's what this can do. And so the easiest example, and this one I've done, I know it works. I'm always surprised at how well it works. Birthday discount. Are you at every person has a birthday, and so every brand can ask, when's your birthday? And you can reward them. You can say, if you tell us your birthday, we'll give you 50 reward points, right? 50 loyalty points. And then on their birthday, we say, hey, it's your birthday, bonus point. We're going to gift you something. And, it's nice to be noticed. I know it's an automation. Heck, in the stores where I'm the one who set up these marketing automations, I'm still delighted when I get that email. I'm like, hey, it worked. And yes, thank you. It is my birthday. It is not my birthday. So that data could be traded for loyalty points. And I'm seeing this, once I opened my eyes, once I started looking and researching it, you see some of these more sophisticated brands or more cutting edge brands are going to exchange loyalty points for this customer enrichment data, right? We call it zero first party data just because it's voluntarily given and you own it, right? I'm not sharing that with Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg does not need to get involved here. And as an example, Lace Laboratory makes you take a quiz. If you take that quiz, which is super important for them for segmenting in a larger catalog with a lot of similar items, you take that profile quiz, and now all of their marketing to you can become significantly more relevant. But you, as the customer, got rewarded for it, for taking, how long did it take to fill out the quiz? 90 seconds? And then, I get 500 points or whatever it is. So really very, very positive experience. And if you're a gamer like me, you see these same things happening where it's like you play a game, they give you the trophy. What are those trophies? It's just about playtime. They want you to keep going. And so that gamification, if you want to add gamification into your brand, potentially the loyalty program is the way to do it. Or the Inky list, same deal. They'll reward points for taking a skin or hair type quiz. Because if I know, if I sell shampoo, I sell hair dye, whatever it is, and I know what kind of hair you have, or maybe I sell hair extensions. I don't know what they sell. Sadly, I don't remember. But it's knowing that just lets me never show them the stuff that doesn't matter to them, because that's what gets you unsubscribes. That's what turns people off. Or Edgard and Cooper, which I thought was great. They sell pet food. Points for completing a detailed profile for your pet. You're the one paying for it, but the pet ultimately is the end customer, right? And so they're like, all right, what's the pet's name, birthday, intolerances? Well, intolerances, again, important so that they can never show you those items that are going to not agree with your dog's tum-tum. I think the other, aside from that first-party data opportunity, is this is a better way to compete with marketplaces. And by marketplaces, of course, I mean Amazon. If you like it, yeah, many people sell on Amazon. No reason not to sell on a marketplace. But it also means they own your customer. You are now competing with them, even though you paid them for the privilege of selling through them on their marketplace. And so having a loyalty program when you sell on a marketplace can help incentivize customers to buy direct from you as opposed to going through that marketplace. When I'm making a purchase on Amazon and there's some instances where, using their Visa reward card and delaying the shipment, I can get 6% back on a purchase. Okay, well, that's what you have to compete with. 3% back on a purchase just became table stakes for your customer to buy direct from you as opposed to going through Amazon. And we all know that those fees add up, and it's going to be a lot more than the 3% you would have to give back to the customer via rewards points. And then ideally, we still have that more relevant, positive experience because we have this complete customer profile. And so that is preferential to a marketplace because it's like white glove VIP treatment, right? I want to feel like you know me. And that's what you could potentially do here. And then you could also go a step further. And with that, I love this idea of like the VIP treatment for people who engage with these loyalty programs. And you could go further, give them perks that aren't just points. Say you get access to new products, or different marketing programs because you are a loyalty member. We work with automotive brand Hoonigan, and they call it the Loyalty Squad. And like just by virtue of engaging in that program and sharing your birthday, you get points, but you'll also get early access to sales and giveaways. Once a month, we just pick a random person who's signed up for the loyalty program, and they'll get like something cool, from a YouTube shoot, whatever. So there's lots of ways that you can reward people and make them engage or incentivize them to engage with these loyalty programs. But in structuring them, like where I have seen people go wrong with them is making them too complicated. And as loyalty programs get more and more sophisticated, like Loyalty Lion, they could do practically everything, right? There are so many different ways to set up the loyalty programs. And you may have to experiment, and you want to find the one that's right for you. But as long as you find the one, I think the issue is when you see people attempting to do all of them all at once. Well, I think that's where one way they go wrong. The traditional is points based. You make a purchase, and then you're going to be able to redeem that for rewards later. $1 gets me 100 points, and then I can convert 100 points into 10 cents or however it works out. There's also tiered VIP programs. I don't love these as much because it's hard to get people early rewards with these. But the idea is, as the customer, this one really is optimizing just for straight customer lifetime spend. As they spend more, they move up tiers. And this is how we had set it up with Hoonigan. We called it like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Gold, bronze, silver, gold is kind of the way the tiered systems work. So I spent $500, and now each time I jump tier, I get like, here's a reward, a coupon, a gift card, a free gift, whatever it is. You can also set these up with paid memberships. Think about Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime's a loyalty program, but it's a membership. I'm paying a monthly fee to get a benefit. Well, there's no reason you can't do the same thing, right? Why is that only Amazon that gets to do this? We could do it too, right? Let's fight fire with fire. And of course, value-based rewards. This is where you would mix value-based rewards with points-based or tiered system. We do this in a lot of these programs. I want the reviews, and I especially want reviews with photos or video. I want that user-generated content. And so you could, I'm very much going to give you a good reward, a lot of points for submitting that stuff, especially if you add UGC to it. And sure, there's going to be people who just submit garbage just to submit garbage. But you know what? They engaged with it. They interacted. I know they're putting in the effort, bless their hearts, and ideally they'll come back and make another purchase and then do the same thing again. Just leave me the lousy review, the 5-star, but lousy review. But they stayed. They didn't buy it from Amazon. That's what we care about. And of course, you can also segment these things to subscriber rewards, right? You could give them additional points for being in a subscription, for having that payment continuity. And that can help reduce churn, because we love subscriptions, right? We want that ongoing, predictable, recurring monthly revenue. And so certainly I might be willing to pay more in rewards points for that. But ultimately, regardless of the combo that you set up here, how you arrange it, I think you have to have ease of use, right? Simplicity is the thing that is going to lead to increased customer engagement. As long as you can explain it like a 5, as long as you can really keep it straightforward, then they're going to perform better. And so don't make the math too complicated, especially on those points-based systems, like spend $1, earn 100 points, right? Make it easy to understand. The rewards should be equally simple and easy to understand, like spend X points, to get $5, to get a 10% off coupon, to get free shipping, whatever it is. And make that stuff clear, prominently displayed. Often we see these loyalty programs where it's like, yeah, they set up the defaults, and then no one ever advertised it or told any customers. You have to, ideal, like you'll have that pop up, hey, earn rewards. And as e-commerce professionals, we probably know to look for those, but your customer may not. Including it as links in your navigation, of course, helpful. Certainly you want a dedicated page for it. And well, include it in your welcome series, right? Make it part of your email. That's another thing, another good reason to email people, help keep you top of mind. We need those things. And I think free product rewards, free gift with purchase is one of my favorite promos. And you can bring that to your loyalty program, especially if you have sample items or free gift with purchase items, which are typically items that have a low cost of goods sold. They are meant to be given away to people. And so offering those as a reward that people can buy could be a great way to introduce them to different items in your catalog, like sample size hand cream that's got a real, has an intentionally low point value. In that scenario, you're just getting a really engaged customer to keep shopping from you and trying your products. Or if you have distressed inventory, this could be a good way to move some of that distressed inventory in a fun way that customers will enjoy and appreciate. Like it's just eating up cash. It's bags of cash sitting on your shelf if you can't move it. And so moving it through a loyalty program could be a nice way to handle things. But I think what makes or breaks the success of these programs is speed to benefit. If you've ever, you'll see those credit card offers that's like, sign up now, get a million D points. Well, the reason they're doing that is because they need you to get that speed to benefit. If they said, sign up for this credit card and 6 months from now, you might be able to get a free thing, no one is going to take that offer. But too often, that's what these loyalty programs end up getting structured as is, and I understand why merchants are trying to protect their profit. Certainly you should. But if you understand your unit economics, you should be able to get this set up in a way that benefits everybody. And so we want, like as soon as they sign up for that program, give them rewards just for signing up. Make sure they get something. They can get a coupon. They can get a discount for engaging with that program, for taking that first step. They need to have an early reward. And ideally, to cement it, when they make that next purchase, and your average order value, hopefully that can get them to a reward as well. And that's what's going to keep them engaged with the program. But in the year 2024, you can't do a webinar on anything technical without discussing my dear friend ChatGPT. So what about AI? Certainly we got to work AI into this somehow. How are we going to do that, Kurt? Easy. We're going to have it help us put the program together. And so in programming, there's a concept called rubber ducking. You get yourself a rubber duck, and when you have a problem, you describe the problem to the rubber duck. And by the end, you probably have figured out the answer just by talking through it, explaining it to your friend, the rubber duck. ChatGPT is often my rubber duck. And in this case, it is much smarter. You can use ChatGPT as your CMO. And I'm going to give you the prompt for this. ChatGPT and I sat down and we talked about it, and we worked out a prompt you can use to help develop your loyalty program. Or it'll help you think through it. But caveat, when you are using ChatGPT, just assume that it is taking everything you give it and it's keeping that forever. And there's like 8 weird engineers somewhere, probably Seattle, that are reading through your conversations. So whatever you do not give personally identifiable information to ChatGPT. So like often we'll give it customer reviews. I will just give it the body of the review. I'm not going to give it the customer's email. I'm not going to give it their name or location. So keep that in mind. And you can also disable chat history and training. So you can opt out of some of this stuff. Even with it opted out, I still would not recommend anyone give it personally identifiable information. And that's just a setting in ChatGPT. So all right, get your screenshot tool ready. This is the prompt you want. And if I get on my ChatGPT high horse, always tell it, if you want a good experience with it, use RTF format, role task format. And so your role is loyalty program consultant. Your task is you're going to assist in designing and executing a customized loyalty program, provide expert guidance on it. And then your output is recommendations and advice through a consultative approach. And so right here, this will help you. If you're struggling with this concept, this might help you think through it. It's just rubber duck it, talk through it with ChatGPT using this prompt. But if you're already there, you can do data analysis with it, which is really fun. Like this one, you just use the free ChatGPT, will do it. This one, you probably, to upload a file, I think you got to pay the $20 to use it. They just came out with a new model, I may be wrong. But in that one, you'll say, all right, given attached customer data, again, nothing personally identifiable, identify key customer segments, describe their buying behavior, highlight trends, suggest personalized incentives. There's a lot of things you could do here. Another thing we'll do with it is give it customer reviews. That's probably my favorite. I'll give it customer reviews, and then you can make these queries to it as well. Like, all right, why did people buy? What were their stumbling blocks if it was negative? What is typical sentiment? And try and figure out kind of those unique selling propositions in customers' tone of voice. That can help a lot. So, challenges. Where does this go wrong? How is this hard? Well, you could certainly have an extremely high conversion rate by having an unprofitable business. So is this financially sustainable? Will it have a positive ROI? Okay, that's where having good bookkeeping is helpful. That's where putting on our accounting hat is necessary. And fundamentally, for this to work, you need to understand unit economics on your products, on products sold. And so if you know, like, all right, on an individual, like individual products and then our average basket of products, what is our profit margin? What is our cost of goods sold? Then you should be able to figure out what is a reasonable system for points versus rewards here. And then once, over time, you could tweak and adjust this. But once you've got that program running, then I think you want to try and compare customer lifetime value of loyalty members versus non-members. Because Loyalty Line shared with me, members who redeem rewards tend to have a higher CLTV than those who don't. So increased engagement with that rewards program, in theory, leads to higher customer lifetime value and a more successful business. And then I would also be curious in our segmentation to know what's average order value and purchase frequency from loyalty program members versus non-members. And if you know that, then you can make, everybody says, we want to make data-driven decisions. And then the reality is most people go with their gut. But if you really did want to make data-driven decisions about this, this is how to do it. And I think the other challenge with loyalty is saturation. Well, my customer my competitors have a loyalty program, and they already just, they do loyalty points. Well, you could still do a loyalty program. In fact, if your competitors have one, maybe that is now an expectation for you that you need to have one too, that your customers are saying, all right, where's your loyalty program? And you can always differentiate. And that's where I think some of those less common benefits, like giveaways, contests, early access, those things, even soft perks, like product tutorials, in-store events, and maybe you've got a creator-led brand, an influencer brand or a celebrity brand. Once a month, you give away a 15-minute FaceTime conversation with that person. Like, oh, wow, suddenly that is this huge perk. But if you want it, you got to join the loyalty program. Oh, okay. Seems like an easy excuse to join a loyalty program. And in theory, that doesn't really cost you anything, does it? All right, let's recap my thoughts here. I think if you're thinking about loyalty programs in terms of it's just a rewards program and it's a checkbox, that you're doing it wrong. Think of it as a tool to increase customer satisfaction first. Like, be customer minded. I think for this loyalty program to work, you got to start with kind of the selfless idea of what can we do for them that is going to get them excited. Because otherwise you end up with these soggy, no one likes wet cardboard. You don't want the wet cardboard of loyalty programs, or it's just like, they just kind of turned it on, left it, and some people use it. No, make it something that you could get excited about. And if you know your customers, ideally, you should be able to do that. And then take it a step further. Reward them for providing that first-party data. I think the simplest, of course, is getting those reviews and doing a quiz or getting their birthday. So you just have that customer profile enrichment, just a little extra data for your segmentation and personalization and marketing automation. And then if all your competitors are offering these things, just do something a little different. Think outside the box on your rewards programs. I really like that idea of doing it. Like, one of the rewards is you could buy a 15-minute call with the founder of a brand for some consultation. And obviously it depends on the brand and what you offer, but especially in a niche vertical, that could be very interesting. Like, if you're the guy who just knows everything about fishing lures, people might get very excited to talk to you for 15 minutes about fishing lures. And then same with sustainability. I think when you are scaling a business, these loyalty programs, because they increase customer retention rates, when you're thinking in terms of profit, well, your biggest expense, 15 to 20% of your revenue, of your profit, is probably it's going out the window on marketing expense, on customer acquisition. And so these loyalty programs, by reducing that attrition rate, by increasing that purchase frequency, ideally are going to help you profit long term, even if we're giving up a little bit of profit short term through the rewards. And of course, we know more expensive to acquire the new customer. And then ultimately, if you did this right, these people become brand advocates where they've had such a positive experience because it has gone beyond just transactional. When I'm buying from Amazon, that thing is a vending machine. I just go in, I find the thing I want, I press the buttons, and out comes, my packet of old Oreos, right? You can use this loyalty program to create brand evangelists when they have these great experiences. And so maybe that helps us out here long term because they will recommend you, because they will keep coming back. And so that's what I learned going through and trying to figure out where could I, after 10 years, where could I do better with loyalty programs? How can I make these work better? So if you got, I don't know if we have time for questions or how we want to handle this. Oh.
We certainly do have some time for questions, and we have some great questions. Thank you so much, Kurt. So much stake in there. As usually happens after these sessions, I wish I had a loyalty program because I want to go and practice these things. Great presentation. Thank you. We do have some questions from the audience I'd love to kick off with.
Sure.
So, first one for you. It's quite specific. For a men's denim brand, how would a free product reward work best? So sounds like a few different things have been tried, but customers want more discounts than free things. So any insights on how free product rewards could work there?
So, well, we do a lot with free gift with purchase, and I think the same concepts apply here. So with it, you want it to be a complementary product, and then more importantly, you want it to be an exclusive product. So like Hoonigan would do lapel pins, but you could only get the lapel pins as a free gift, and they were really cool. And to this date, some of those sell for hundreds of dollars on eBay. So like you're doing a denim brand. Okay, fashion and apparel lends itself to accessories. So do a colorway of socks, of a belt, of a hat, of underwear that is exclusive to the rewards program or free gift with purchase, that you never, ever sell these direct on the website, that you could only get them. I think that exclusivity is the thing that's missing to get people excited about it. And it doesn't have to be, you offer this and you offer the discounts as well, and I know that's what they're excited about, but I think the exclusivity is probably the thing that's missing there.
100%. I think that VIP feeling, we all love it. I think 100%. The other thing we see working quite well is actually merchandise. So it could be that with those jeans, you get a free tote bag or you get a free poster, that kind of thing. And again, make it things stuff that isn't available otherwise. But if you don't have a product that works, maybe you've got some branded merch that you could look at there as well. Okay, next question. What is your take on allowing your loyalty members to redeem their points alongside a regular promotion campaign that is running? So does one occlude the other, or can both run at the same time?
So typically they're mutually exclusive. Like discount stacking is unusual just because it can create so much abuse potential. And it's still like a relatively new feature, even in Shopify, to be able to stack discounts. And so typically I would say no, one is exclusive of the other, even if some people may be annoyed about that. And if they are, you say, all right, well, just use the loyalty program, and hey, we'll give you a few extra points for the hassle. One thing I didn't mention in here, you can use loyalty points as part of a customer support tool. Hey, we're sorry you had that bad experience. Here we'll add a few extra loyalty points for you. I hope that helps.
100%. And we will actually be hearing from Gorgeous, our help desk partner, later today. Their integration is very useful for that as well, keeping customers happy with loyalty points. Fantastic. Next question. Can you improve returning customer rates and customer lifetime value without a loyalty program? I'm going to say no, but I'm biased. Kurt, what's your point of view on that?
Okay. It's a silly question. Like, of course you can, right? Can I do this one thing without this other thing? Yeah, probably. But the loyalty program is a tool. It is another tool in that toolbox. And I think increasingly it may become an expectation that even if they don't sign up for it, that is at least an available option for me. And so I like having it there and available to me. I'm not sure why you would. Well, the short answer is like, sure, but why?
Why would you want to? I agree. Great. Another interesting one. I'd love to hear your point of view on this. Do you think a brand can ever stop spending on acquisition and focus entirely on retention?
Well, you'll never have a zero. That assumes that you could reach 0% attrition. Mm-hmm. I suspect that's impossible, right? Unless you have two customers and they're both your parents. I think no matter what, you'll always have to bring in new customers, and loyalty programs can help reduce that attrition rate.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think it's a necessary evil, really. We can't be without acquisition channels to build that audience as well. Okay, another one that has just come in on the chat. Excuse me, looking between two screens here. My colleagues want to limit the discounts in the checkout to €8 as they don't want people to buy for free. What do you think of putting a limitation on this? Let me repeat that one. My colleagues want to limit the discounts in the checkout as they don't want people to buy for free. What do you think of that limitation?
I probably don't want to give away my product either. Right. But if the question is like, hey, someone could accrue loyalty points and then use those to redeem a coupon and then make a purchase for free, it isn't for free. You have to view that over its longer term spread, because they had to make a whole bunch of other purchases to get those points, right? And so just view it as one long transaction. Zoom out. It isn't that you just gave away that item for free. It's a delayed reward. It's a delayed free gift for the previous purchases.
Mm-hmm. I love the expression zoom out. That's really, really good. Okay, lovely question here. This might be the last one that we have time for. We have this a lot, actually. No one's quite clear when they first launch a loyalty program who owns it, who's responsible for its success. So in your opinion, who do you think should own a loyalty program? Is it marketing? Is it customer success? Is it a little bit of everybody? Who do you typically see having the best success when they take ownership?
I think it's the marketing team, but they need the support of the brand owner, right? Because it is easy, like that previous question, it is easy to view it as like they're just giving stuff away, right? And so you need buy-in from leadership and then let the marketing team run it, because they're the ones who are going to be able to message it correctly. For customer success, it's a tool, and they should be involved because they're going to hear about it, right? And then fundamentally, like early on when you're configuring that program, maybe you need your operations person, your bookkeeper, whoever that is, involved to make the unit economic.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to sneak in one last question that's just come in. Question from Rob. After a customer buys one product, he gets an email with a discount to buy another product. Should you lock the second product but out for a sign up into the loyalty program to get the discount, or should you just place the code in the email? Again, I'll repeat that. A customer buys one product, he gets an email with a discount to buy another product. Should that second product, I get it. Should that second product be locked so you have to join the loyalty program to access the discount, or should you just place the discount code in an email and hope that they join the program?
That's really clever. I like both ways. There isn't a wrong option here. I think it just comes down to what you're trying to optimize for. Because if I get that second purchase and I get it quickly, that person is just very likely to make a third purchase down the road. If I wanted to say, like, look at the data, you could figure this out with like split testing the emails and RFM modeling. But I think realistically, man, try it both ways and see what happens, right? Because you're going to optimize for getting people into that loyalty program, or you're optimizing for that second purchase. Jeez. I had never thought of that. I think it's very clever to make the second purchase and the discount part of, hey, join the loyalty program, we'll set you up. I would do it that way.
I would say is we know from our data that the second purchase is the hardest to secure. Once you've got that one, the third, the fourth, the fifth, for loyalty program members flow a lot more easily. So yeah, you could argue securing that second one is the goal, but getting people into the program may make that second purchase a lot more likely. So, okay, amazing. Kurt, thank you so much. I'm afraid that's all the questions that we have time for. We're going to have to say goodbye to Kurt now, but do connect with him online or drop into the Unofficial Shopify podcast. It is definitely worth a listen. Kurt, we'll say goodbye to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. What a great way to kick things off.
Thank you for having me. I hope that was helpful, and I'll take my leave.